We're recording. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. I am super stoked for tonight's Zoom, mainly because I don't have to talk so much. No, but I'm just excited to bring you guys fresh perspective, fresh set of lens to see things through, because oftentimes when you hear from me, I can become white noise to you, and I am not above saying that about myself. I know when I was a school teacher that, you bring in another teacher to do something, or you have a student explain it a different way, and all of a sudden, light bulbs go off. And that's why I'm a huge advocate, you guys, of number one, getting on YouTube and exploring like top coaches who post their team calls. Ooh, I need to manage. Hold on. Let me mute everybody just in case anyone else pops on. There we go. I'm an advocate for getting on YouTube and finding best practices from coaches who are in the network, in the trenches, teaching their teams and staying abreast to that. But I'm also, beyond that, you guys, a huge advocate for the National Wake Up Call for this exact reason. Because in my business, my upline coach, I wasn't really relating to her because she was a stay-at-home mom. She had 2 kids. She was a pastor's wife. Like, our stories really weren't in alignment when I began. And so sometimes it was hard for me to understand how I could make this business work when I wasn't relating to somebody. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear from one of our own tonight. And hopefully that's going to, there's going to be that one little magic thing that just, oh, okay, that I maybe could not have said myself. I'm going to share the screen though and do a couple quick headline announcements before we dive in though. So first and foremost, guys, Ultimate Portion Fix. I'm going to get on a soapbox real quick. Please bear with me. You guys, if you listen to the National Wake Up Call today, she couldn't have explained it any better, that Beachbody literally gives us a silver platter and says, here, you want to hit Success Club? You want to earn some money this week? You want to get people excited about something? Here. Like, I feel like the old person that's like, back when I started coaching, we had to walk uphill both ways. But it's true, you guys. Like, we got one thing came out, one new DVD came out, and it was like DVDs only, and like Shakeology, like there was no performance line. There was none of this stuff, you guys. Like, it is literally, and people still were successful. That's what I want to say about that. Like, there weren't these kind of launches happening, and yet the network was still successful. Coaches were still hitting Success Club consistently, and they didn't have these silver platters being handed. Like, we literally just had an amazing launch with Transform 20, which you can still leverage, you guys, absolutely. But right now, I feel like our team is not getting behind the Portion Fix the way that we should be. So number one, go do your homework if you haven't yet. If you don't know what Portion Fix is, go listen to the National Wake Up Call that Autumn did. She also spoke on the Champions page. Go into our team page and look at the content that I've put out there for you guys. Do your homework. Number two, get on board with it. There is nothing, like I can't stress enough, being proof of the product means that you physically have to try it, right? And so there are things that in my pursuit of being proof of the product that I wasn't totally in love with, but I tried it and I have an opinion on it now. And so I can guide my customers that much better. With 2B Mindset, I purchased it. Is it my favorite thing that I've ever done? No. Do I love the water bottle? Yes. And do I recite in my head like water first, veggies most? All the time, right? There are little things that I can pull from it that make it 100% worth it to me. But what's really worth it is that when I have somebody who struggles with containers, or they struggle with, restrictive diets, and it's more emotional, it's more like on the interior, I can guide them to the mindset program, right? But then if I've got people who they know what they're supposed to be eating, they just don't know how to freaking figure it out, I can guide them to the Ultimate Portion Fix, because I have these tools and I understand them, right? So it's number one important. If you're listening to this right now and you haven't gotten Ultimate Portion Fix and joined the rest of your coaches in our little Snoop group, I'm sorry, not Snoop group, but our little test group that we have going on right now, you need to get on that. I know I capped it and said 15. That was my goal. Like, I want at least 15 of us, but I want more. And one of the coolest things, you guys, and maybe this might fire you up a little bit, is that number one, you can't do 21-day fix in real time with Autumn if you don't get Ultimate Portion Fix. You will not have access to that. This is being housed in the nutrition app. So when those workouts come out, they will not be in the Beachbody On Demand library. They will be in the nutrition app. only. So you have to make sure that you've ordered Ultimate Portion Fix by the last day of March in order to be on board with that. So if that fires you up, if you're like, oh my gosh, I wanted to be a part of that 21-day fix thing, got to get Ultimate Portion Fix, right? Number two, this also might fire you up. Last week, I had my biggest paycheck ever across all 3 business centers, and it was because I leveraged Ultimate Portion Fix in my business with my new customers, with new coaches, with existing coaches. And that's where I want to talk to you about that today. Have you leveraged Ultimate Portion Fix and told your team, hey, do this with me? If you have anyone in your downline, this is where you tell them, hey, we're going to be doing the spring cleaning group. Hey, we're going to be doing 21-day fix. Do it with me. Like, these are your VIP customers, right? Your coaches, no matter whether they're discount, working, whatever, those are the people who are invested. And so those are the people also, when volume rolls up and you get team cycle bonus, you're going to have some kick booty paychecks, but it's getting around it all the way. Okay. And so again, do your homework, get on it. And then my diamond interns right now, they're like, Brittany, we like when you give us an assignment for the week. And so I'm going to give you guys the same assignment that I gave them. If you want an assignment, here's what I need you to do. Get behind Ultimate Portion Fix and hit SC5 by the end of the week. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Like, that's what you need to do. If you need an assignment right now, if you're like, I don't know what to do, get behind Ultimate Portion Fix and hit SC5 by the end of the week. Coolest part about, Ultimate Portion Fix right now is they can't sign up without the coach discount. They have to join Inspire Beauty at the same time. So why not grow your downline, grow your team, start climbing your way to diamond by also leveraging the fact that customers cannot purchase it right now. Okay. I will get off my soapbox with that. You can see that I'm so passionate, you guys. When a launch happens, like, we just have to be on it. And so this one, we are going for it the rest of this month and beyond. But just know that when the next launch comes for Morning Meltdown 100, like, wheels turning on it from day one. Like, do not wait for anyone else to tell you to get on it. Okay, Inspire Beauty.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the same one that Amanda was just asking in chat. Actually, I have 2 questions. One, cool. How are you talking through the part that you have to sign up as a coach? Like, if I'm talking to a prospective customer, but the only way they can get it is by being a coach right now, how are you talking through that? One. And number 2, can you talk a little bit about your thoughts on the certification? Like, I know I'm going to do it. I just haven't decided yet if I'm doing it regularly or if I'm signing up to do a certification.
Yeah. So I gave you guys a document. I gave you guys a share cart, and that's exactly how I'm laying it out. I gave you guys a canned response for how I would get them prepped for share a cart, and that is in both places. It's in Inspire Beauty and in the Rising Stars page. So check that out. But I basically walked you guys through that. I gave you a script for how to add them into the group, what to say to them 24, 48 hours later after they're in the group, and then the share a cart, like, once you know that they're like, yeah, I want to do this, the share a cart that you would send them, and it basically lays out the perks of joining. You'd get access to Autumn's test group. You'd get to be a part of our community, Inspire Beauty. You'd get a 25% discount on the rest of the stuff. And, if you want, you can run with us and coach others. If you just want to learn how to coach yourself, cool, you can do that. And then if they don't want to do that option, from there I say, okay, well, I'm going to have to put you on a wait list because unfortunately I can't, this isn't open to the public just yet. So I'll circle back to you on March 18th. Yeah. But all of that I gave in both places. So go peek both groups and check that out. I can't really read the chat right now, you guys, because of the screen share. Hold on. And then the second thing, certification. I personally chose not to get the certification, and that's just a personal choice for me. But Autumn explains the certification as the why behind the what. So you're going to get the what in the Ultimate Portion Fix, but if you're the type that you want to know why, like, why do I need to eat that way, or why do I need to have 5 containers of greens or whatever, and you want to know the why so you can dig a little deeper with your clientele, then that's what the certification is really for. I just made a personal choice not to do the certification. So does that answer? Was there another? I saw the chat open up again. I just don't know if there was another question in there.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just me in the chat, so no biggie.
Perfect. Okay. And I think you guys too, like to circle back on that, I went through and in the team page and in the business builders page, I've laid out like scripts and what to say and where to take it and how to get them on board with certain things. And so like, I think that's where I'm like, is the disconnect because we're not seeing the stuff happening in Inspire Beauty? Like, do I need to relay this information in a different way? And so that's just been my personal like challenge is I am giving you guys this stuff, but I'm not seeing the return like happening. So please go check it out. And if you need to tag one another or whatever, please do so. And if you can't find it, after this call is over, circle back to me and I can tag you guys in it. Okay. I put out this crazy thing that I would love to see 100 lives changed in Q1. And we can freaking do it. If we can do it in Q1, man, we could do it again in Q2, 3, 4. By the end of the year, we'd change at least a minimum of 400. And I really think if we get momentum rolling around this 100 lives a quarter idea, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? I think we could even surpass 400 by the end of 2019. But so far where we're at is 73 lives so far, 27 more lives to go. Every time somebody gets 2 Success Club points, right, then I'm adding a colored in heart to this chart. And so we're at 73, added on some new friends this week onto the board. I'm super pumped about that. But guys, again, like you have that silver platter in front of you, just start using it. And guys, we know how long conversations sometimes take. So you might start talking to somebody today and it might be the 18th by the time they're even ready to join. And then it doesn't even matter whether they sign as a coach or a challenger or whatever after that, right? So get the conversations going now with the intent that, you know, even if it takes longer than a week for them to finalize and decide on what they want, they'll have whatever pathway in front of their hands, okay? Huge congratulations to Miss Erin Whaley. She is our newest Diamond Inspire Beauty coach. You guys, I'm just so proud. I'm proud, and the reality is you're going to hear from Leah in a little bit, and one of my favorite questions we're going to ask her tonight is, what's the secret? And I'm sure you're wondering, what's Erin's secret too? And like, Kristen's just sitting here. She's in the same internship. You guys, I wish I had a secret. The secret is you just freaking put your head down. And we'll address that here in a little bit, but it is such a freaking honor to not just share this now with my husband's account and with Leia's account, but also with Erin, and to start having an army of people who really have a heartbeat to make something happen that's bigger than themselves, right? When we sign up as a coach, like it's about me, myself, and I, and like I'm excited about what my team's doing, but like I'm not extending that out forward in my own power. And when we hit Diamond, that is when that begins to open up, opens up a higher team cycle bonus. She's now going to cycle at $18 a week or per cycle, and that's just insane. It's awesome. So congratulations to Erin. I'm just super freaking stoked, which brings me to the next slide, you guys. And I'm going to say this all the way till June 6th. So if you're sick of seeing this, start working your way to Diamond. Because in the fall of 2019, we're having our very first Diamond retreat in wine country here in California, but you have to be Diamond by June 6th to qualify. Okay. So right now I got Leia coming with me. I got Erin coming with me, and I want more of you guys. I don't want it to stop there. And so I also picked June 6th, just, you know, fun fact, because that's also the qualification date for Summit. So if your goal is, if a trip doesn't inspire you, but your name at Summit, like on a fancy ribbon or on a banner, motivates you, then go for that, right? Whatever motivates you to do this dang thing, start shooting for it. And I am about to introduce our guest speaker tonight, but guys, just know that already she didn't just go to Diamond in January or hold Diamond from December through January for that 6-week qualification period, but her husband's account is already at 5 coaches, well on its way to being Diamond. So she's about to duplicate this yet again, you guys. And so I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to introduce our speaker. You guys, she signed up for coaching. I had to go back in the archives on June 6th, 2016. And the only reason she signed up is because I told her daughter that she needed to go Emerald by signing up somebody she could control and someone else, right? Like I tell everyone, go Emerald. And Katie was like, okay, I'll go Emerald. Like, I'm going to work on it. And she signed up her mom. Her mom at the time was doing flywheel, would drink shakes. Like she's a ray of freaking sunshine wherever you put her. Like, that's what I know about Leia. It doesn't matter. So she was a ray of sunshine in our groups from day one, but she wasn't quite at the belief in Beachbody because what she enrolled for was to simply support and love her daughter, right? But it has turned into so much more than that. After our very first Diamond internship in November, I was looking for somebody to join our December internship. The holidays are a crazy time. And I get that. And I know that that's not a time that everyone's wanting to hustle and push. And I saw some spark happening in Leia. And so I asked her, hey, are you going to apply for this next Diamond internship? And she really thought I was psycho. And I probably was. But the reality is when you see something in somebody, you've got to just run with it. You've got to go with it. And I hope this is an inspiration for you guys tonight that she signed up 2 years before she actually really started working the business, because this last summer was when she started really diving in. And so it took 2 years of life changes, 2 years of getting on calls, even though she had zero desire to work the business. You guys, like there were times when Leia and like another coach who wasn't working the business were my only two on Zooms. And like, I was preaching like this, yet that wasn't they were just there to love me. Like they just wanted to support me. But I think if you hang around me long enough, I'm going to brainwash you into thinking that you can actually freaking do this thing. And I love that I was able to brainwash Leia into thinking she could do this thing because she's physically actually doing this thing. So Leia, do you want to introduce yourself any more than that, or do you want to dive into our questions?
No, I think you kind of did it. The only thing I have to say is that I didn't realize it until you just said it. I knew it was June, but it's June 6th, and June 6th is our cutoff for Summit to have extra stuff. And so if I can when I get 3 more coaches between now and June 6th, my anniversary with the company, I will be 1-star diamond.
Heck yeah, you
which
will.
I thought was kind of cool that date was the same. I didn't realize that.
And neither did I. Here I am spewing out facts, and I didn't even have them checked myself. Okay, so we're going to dive in. You guys, I've got some questions that I gave her ahead of time that I just thought would really be applicable and pertinent to you guys. So we're just diving in, and Leia's going to take it away after I ask them. So Leia, the first one, and I think this is huge because for 2 years you didn't really work the business, and then all of a sudden we did this thing, this July Team Cup, which is where you came out of the woodwork all of a sudden and said, I'll try it. And you could talk about your teammates and all that good stuff, but what was your biggest fear when you started actively coaching during that July Team Challenge? And during that month, how did you overcome it?
I leaned on Lindsay and Jessica. I was scared to death. I did not want to sign up for Team Cup Challenge. Or it wasn't really Team Cup Challenge. It was our team challenge that we did. It wasn't a peer pressure thing. It was I want to do this. It was FOMO. I didn't want to miss out what everybody else was doing in July, so I figured it would help me learn. And they helped me, along with the rest of my team, realize that just be you and just do. My biggest fear was sounding salesy. I don't like salespeople who are in your face. And I'm very much it matters to me what people think about me and what they're saying. And with being at that time 54, almost 55, I still had a lot of those mean girl voices in my head, and I knew people were going to be talking about me because my social media was going to be changing. It wasn't just going to be me going out with my girlfriends, Eric and I doing something, me and Katie going to a concert. And I just decided to bite the bullet and try and see what happened. And I hit SC. I helped run my first ever group with their support. Obviously, we did it together. I didn't think I would be taken seriously. I was afraid of failure because here I have my master's degree in special education with an emphasis in early intervention. I've got my bachelor's in child development. I have a dual minor, and I use none of it. So I've got these amazingly gorgeous diplomas hanging in oak matted frames in the front room. And I was going to sell Shakeology and this at-home workout thing. And I felt people wouldn't take me seriously because I was just doing some gimmick. I think my overcoming it was leaning on my girlfriends in this group who truly became some of my closest friends who I could trust because I knew they wouldn't lie to me. I knew they wouldn't steer me the wrong way. They would say, just try this because they had tried it. Or it was a, hey, let's try this for the first time together. If we fall, at least we're not falling alone. We're falling together and we're going to learn and we'll tweak it. And we did. And I am very grateful for that. I wasn't alone.
I love that. I love that. And you guys, I love the perspective of, we're all actively coaching. Some of us on here have downlines that we're working on trying to support. And, I love bringing it back to that. Leah was a discount coach for 2 years, right? So you don't ever discount the discount. But by creating FOMO on the team, all of a sudden she wanted in. So you never know, and that's again, going back to ultimate portion fix, inviting your current coaches to do it with you, because you never know how that could change their life. You could invite them to do, hey, would you co-lead this next 21-day nutrition group with me? Since you're already doing this stuff with me, you never know when something like that could just spark something in someone else. So always being the person to reach out to our downline and bring them into what we're doing, regardless if they've told us no before or they're not, we're going to work this business or whatever. I love it. And I love that she said that she knew her social media would have to change. Yes. It's we look different. We do things different, right? If we continue to show up the same way on social media, maybe we wouldn't be inspiring other people, right? And so I love that. So then let's segue into that, since you knew social media would have to change for you, and you talked a little bit about what your social media looked like, meaning your lifestyle really at the time. Who were you before Beachbody, and who do you feel like now? And you can talk about before Beachbody, or before you really dove in, but what's the change?
Before Beachbody, and I want to say before and when I started drinking the shakes, at least in the beginning, very much a yo-yo dieter. I have had issues with my weight my entire life. Quick fix finder, man, I was the queen of that. I've taken probably just about everything. I've had injections. I've bought the pills. I've Weight Watcher, lean cuisine stuff at the store. I've done Jenny Craig. If it was out there, I was going to do it. And if they said I could lose it in the next 3 days, boy, I was going to buy 3 bottles of that because it was going to get me there even faster. And I was a closet doer of all of those things. I didn't share, especially the fat doctor injections or pills or buying the pills at the store. Eric, I bet to this day could not tell you I did any of those things. I wasn't proud of it. I was ashamed. I also, on the flip side, at the times when I felt I was healthier, I thought I was somebody who was happy. And I can honestly say that in September, I'm going to be 56. I told myself not to do this. I'm a breast cancer thriver, and my doctors tell me, don't stop doing what I'm doing. That they see that I not only am healthy, that I'm happy, and that they believe my positive outlook and my happiness of who I am has helped me through my 3 major surgeries and recovering from those. I don't know how many procedures that I had. I am truly, I believe, in the best shape of my entire life. And I'm happy from the inside out. That's where I am now.
Wait, drink. Kristen saying drink water.
Oh, yes, drink water, drink water. That's right.
We learned on book club 2 weeks ago that if you drink water, you can't cry at the same time. So the more you know.
Amy would have been reminding me of that.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, it's more than just shakes and workouts. And I hope we I hope this just continues to solidify that. One of the things I just thought about too is that a lot of times cancer is like the one thing that can immediately crush somebody, completely change a family's trajectory, completely just destroy things that are there, right? That the what I thought my life was going to look like and what it's going to be now. But what I've heard, and I don't know this, but I've read that your mindset and your mental strength is a lot of times what helps people to get through treatments and just all of it, right? And I think that that's also something to be said, is that you're not just drinking this shake and it's great, but you surround yourself with a community that encourages you to level up in your mindset. And it's okay when you're having a day where you can't, but let's read this book together. Let's talk about this together. And I think there's like serious power in that. Serious power in that.
And I've had some people throw that back at me when I give the statement about my doctors and what they've said, and they get very defensive and say, your shake didn't take your cancer away. Mm-hmm. Well, you're damn right it didn't. Having both my boobs taken off took my cancer away. And going through all those tests took my cancer away. And still following up is helping me with that. But what I do know is my mindset is better. The tribe around me that I was accountable to every single day, whether it was Eric making my shake because I didn't want to eat anything at all during the day. He knew I was getting my nutrients in my one shake. Or doing a silly country heat dance just from the waist down so that I could sweat for maybe only 15 minutes, but logging it in my challenge tracker and having everybody cheer me on. That it is more than a workout and a shake. Even though those are the two examples I just gave, it was so much more than that.
Yeah. And I've had, like, you guys, the front row privilege of getting to see Leah. Leah had foot surgery about a year prior to finding out you had breast cancer. It was like maybe 10 months, 9 months. Yeah. She had foot surgery, you guys. I told her to be in the challenge group. She refused. She had foot surgery. How can I be in your challenge group, Britt? Like, who here has ever had somebody say, like, I can't be in your group because I have this broken part of me, or I have, this hurdle that I'm trying to overcome? And the easy answer would be like, okay. And at the time I was like, you had foot surgery. Okay, fine, whatever. You don't be in the challenge group. But then she had breast cancer and joined the challenge group and went through surgery after surgery and still showed up. She would freaking play the meditation on the Beachbody yoga studio, and that would be her workout that day because she was working out her mind in a time when she needed it so bad, and finding just like some moments of peace and calm and a front row seat to be able to see Leah do that. And then now just finished Transform freaking 20. Like, the honor is all mine. Like, it's been so cool to watch all of the ups and downs, and never have you ever walked away during them. You've embraced every single one of them. I love that.
Thank you.
So let's talk through, because I know, like, the real question of the hour is like, how'd you do it? Why was Diamond important to you once you got into this whole thing, once I bullied you into applying and joining the internship? Why was that an important goal for you? And anybody that's listening to this who might not have that goal, or maybe be nervous to even like project that goal out there, why should someone else put that on their vision board?
I still so vividly remember the conversation you and I had when you asked me if I had applied yet, and I told you no. And you told me that you and Charlie had had a talk the night before and that I better do it. So it was, I honestly felt the why me, because, and not why me in the pitiful way, but why on earth would you want me to do that? I'm not working my business. And I think for me, talking to you that day and deciding to do it was important because I wanted to continue helping people. And by that, I mean, I wanted to help them find what I have found and what has come into my life. And I wanted them to realize how I started, and that I started simply to get that discount. And I say that comment to any coach on this team who has messaged me or called me. I tell them that when I'm talking to my customers or those who aren't even my customer yet, part of my conversation is, why would you want to pay 100%? If you're willing to make this commitment to yourself, why wouldn't you want to save 25% on your order every month? And when they ask me if they have to do what I'm doing, I tell them no, that it's completely up to them, just the same as was given to me. I explained to them why I signed up, that I really didn't know anything about Shakeology or Beachbody. And even though I had Hip Hop Abs DVD on the bookshelf in the other room, I didn't realize it was Beachbody. All I knew was it was Shaun T, who I loved. And I want them to realize that taking care of themselves and filling their cup is so important. And saving money could also be a part of that self-care. Don't add the stress of thinking you're spending more money. Of course, I also wanted to bring money into the household because I had made the decision, Eric and I had made the decision when I left on disability. I was on disability for almost a year because we did all of my procedures back to back to back with all of the surgeries and procedures. And by the time I was done with disability, that money wasn't coming in anymore. And if y'all know me, I kind of like to shop and spend money and enjoy happy hour and all those fun things. So while Eric has an amazing job, we're still helping our kids, which we are blessed to be able to do. And they are almost 25 and almost 31, but we can help them. And we love being able to do that. And in the back of my mind, even though Eric has never said anything to me about it, I was having the guilt of not bringing an income in, even if it was only to pay for groceries or gas or whatever, even though our accounts have 100% been our accounts from the day we said I do. We do not have separate accounts. We choose not to have separate accounts, never have. So he never brought that up. It was me pulling the guilt on myself. So obviously bringing some income in was something that I wanted to be able to do. I just honestly think everybody should put this on their goal board, because why not? You know, shoot high and see, you know, what's that phrase? If you shoot for the moon and you miss, you'll still land on the stars, or something to that effect. I know I just butchered it, but you guys get what I'm saying. Just see, because if you do that, you have those 8 coaches underneath you, and 2 of those coaches have got at least 2 coaches under them. Right there, you've got 12 lives that you've helped start to change. And that it's the trickle effect. It goes out and it continues helping people. So why would you not want to ask them? And it's all about changing lives and sharing what we have found on this team. I think that is my reason for why everybody should put it on their goal board. Why would you not?
I love that. And that's the thing, like, you're here for a reason. Like, you have, every single person has a story for what got them here. And it's like, it's getting over that initial fear. And I think finding something that's going to make you work. I love that you said, you know, you felt guilty about the finances and being able to contribute. Contribution, you guys, is a huge pushing factor for me too. And it wasn't until my back was against the wall and I was not making any money that I was like, I have to freaking do this because I have to contribute, you know? And so finding that, you know, burning reason, I think, is important to you too. Okay, let's keep grooving. So now, so now that diamond is like this thing that, you know, you've gotten into a groove with it. You've gotten into this rhythm. I even shared with everybody that Eric's account, you guys, has officially hit 5 coaches. And, you know, right there, we're looking at 3 more and then working on the emeralds. So you've not only just made diamond in your business center and allowed a cushion for it, which is great. You're not at the minimum, but you're also now building your husband's account. So what is this best kept secret? If you could share with them, like, what is this secret, or what are you doing to make this happen? How can other people duplicate what you're doing? What would you say?
Well, when you're done laughing because you think there is a best kept secret, like I did, you just put your head down and you ask. Not being afraid to be proof of the product allows people to make comments to you. You know, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be 56 and I've got people from high school who I'm Facebook friends with only, and I get messages off of my stories telling me, you know, you'd be so proud of me. I got up and I went for a walk at work today. I don't remember the last time I went for a walk. Or, you know, I wish I could do what you do, but because of X, Y, or Z with how my body feels. And I jump right into the, well, I had breast cancer and I'm still, you know, I'm not asking you to do what I'm doing. I'm asking you to try the shakes, try some, you know, add baby steps into your routine. Not being afraid to hear no, which is really hard because I don't like the word no. I don't think any of us do. Doing that extra little bit and even asking those I absolutely knew were going to say no were some of my final coaches that pushed me diamond. Because I just figured, you know what, I went to my youngest brother and I said, I need you. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Are you willing to try it? I know you've done insanity before, but you never did the shakes. And he said, well, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And he goes, well, what else do you need? And I said, well, I need a coach. And he said, well, no, I'm not going to coach. And I said, no, what that means is I'm going to send you the form to fill out, and then you're going to get 25% off every order of your shakes every month. And he goes, oh, yeah, okay, do it. And I knew for a fact he was going to be one of my no's because him and his son still are back living with my parents. And my mom is the naysayer of the family and, you know, the guilt tripper and all of that good stuff. And I knew for a fact that box of shakes was going to go on the kitchen counter and she was going to have comments. And the only comments she has had have been positive ones. You know, she'll joke with me sometimes if we're at the house. You know, are you hungry? We've got Shakeology on the counter. Yeah, if I'm hungry, I'll go make one. You know, and I'll just kind of smile and let her say her thing and, you know, whatever, Mom. So not being afraid to even ask the people who you are absolutely certain are going to say no. Let them say no. I think I had to go back to my fundraising skills for all of the Avon breast cancer walks I've done over the years. What right is it of mine to make the choice where somebody gives their money? And if they have charities that they give to, that's their choice who they give to. But I could still ask them because they may decide to give $10. They may decide to give $1,000. I don't know what their method of thinking is. So I finally kind of took that mentality with asking people to coach. So that's how I ended up. And I brought my account to Diamond because I found the 8 coaches under me. And then I found the 2 coaches under both Eric and Katie. So Eric and Katie didn't do anything. I'm pulling a Brit. I'm working. I have their passwords. I log into their back offices every day to see who's inactive, what's going on. And I know, I feel fairly confident the same thing is going to happen again with Eric's when it goes diamond, is I'm going to be managing 2 more. You know, again, but that's okay. I can see that I've done it under me, and I'll do it again. If it means I'm helping people, I'll do it again. I'm sorry, I don't remember if I even.
No. Do you want to talk through about like how you kind of made your list and where you started with your customers and went down from there?
Yes. Just about every coach that's under me and or Eric or Katie came from being customers first. And I really did my same talk with them. Okay, so you're taking care of yourself. You're killing it. I'm so proud of you. Now that you've been doing this for a couple months, or now that, you know, you see you like the shakes, you're not sending them back. Would you be interested in becoming a self-care coach? And they freak. They hear the word coach. No, I have a coach already. I have you. I don't want to do it. Okay, you don't have to do what I'm doing, but you could save 25%. Are you interested? And we've got this amazing community where I'm going to shout you out if you say yes or when you say yes. And you're going to get little snippets of information whenever anything's posted. You can choose to read them. You can choose to be involved. You can choose not to. It's completely up to you. Big questions that came were, yeah, but what does the company want from me? Is there a quota? Do I have to? No. But what about the time? You know, how long do I have to be a coach? You could quit tomorrow. But because you're helping me go diamond, this is my big goal. All I ask of you is that you wait at least those 6 weeks while I get through my qualification so I can find a replacement. And then I also explain to them, but if you become a coach and you get that discount and you like it and you decide to quit for whatever reason, the one restriction the company puts on you is the 6-month wait period. You have to wait 6 months before you can be a coach again, either under me or anybody else. That's because they don't want people grabbing coaches. And so people have understood that. Everybody that has signed has pretty much said, I don't want to do what you're doing. I love the shakes. I'm interested in this. Are you sure it's okay that I just do this for the discount? And I assure them that the company, when they see the coach application come in, a coach is a coach. The coach is the Beachbody is going to say, congratulations on starting your new business. So don't freak out when you see that. But to Beachbody, you have just signed to be a coach. Now, in 6 months, if you change your mind, or in 6 years, you change your mind and you decide you want to start sharing this, you're going to be able to do that. But that discount's not going to be taken away from you in the interim and everything. And I think I just let them ask questions and talk to me. So my list truly, when I became Diamond, I started with every customer that was under me. And then some. And that's when I then started asking others that I thought would be no people to get them to become customers/coaches for the first time.
That's perfect. And I think you guys, if you want a little sneak peek into the Diamond internship, the very first thing that I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you create a list of every customer you have, and those are going to be the people you invite first. And so if you're wondering, like, Erin's not on tonight and you're wondering, what do you think she did, you guys? She reached out to those people who have been loving her groups, been loving the community, been loving this, and just said, hey, why are you paying full price? I've got this other community that's like even the next level of support over there. And it's just beyond just Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology. Like, you're going to get a different type of community support. I'd love to be able to have you. Plus, you guys, not being afraid. When I worked with Leah, we talked a lot about not being afraid to tell them that you've got a big goal you're going for. Yeah. And so when she reached out to those people who, like the family members or the naysayers or the ones that you're really afraid about saying no, just sharing your heart and that you've got this big goal you're gunning for and how they can help you and contribute to making that happen. People just want to feel needed, you know? I love that. I love that Avon thing, that Avon analogy. What right is it of mine to decide where people want to put their money? I am definitely keeping that in front of my face. I love that mentality. Yeah. Okay. This is a good question, you guys. I love this because I think I surprised Leah with this question, and I am going to ask this of Leah, and she's going to give her answer, but I encourage you to write this question down too, because I think we've thought what we want to do in March. Some of you have probably thought what you want to do by summit time, and I'm sure many of you have thought what you want to achieve by the end of 2019. But I asked Leah, and Leah, you can answer for us here in a second, where do you see yourself going from here, from this moment, you know, where you're at in your business? I asked her what her next big goal is. And I asked her also, what about 2 years from now? What about 5 years from now? And so I'd encourage you to write that down. Just give your own little gut check when this call's over. Where do you see yourself going after tonight, you guys? After this call's over, where do you see yourself going? And what is that next big goal for you? And then where do you want to be in 2 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? So Leah, I'll let you answer that for us.
And yes, the question totally surprised me. From here, really, I'm gunning for 1-star diamond. So that is also my next big goal, because I realize I tapped the majority of my customers for me to go diamond and to put those people to make Eric Emerald and Katie Emerald. So bringing myself to 1-star diamond is a huge goal for me, because it is pushing me within my warm market even more than that original list. Granted, I still have a lot of people on there who said no, but I'm going to circle back and I'm going to ask them, because they've been having their shake 3 months longer now, 4 months longer by the time I ask them. And I'm going to remind them how much money they could have saved in that time frame. I give them, I'm not afraid to send the screenshot that I have. I have a Beachbody photo album on my phone. So like Heather and Amanda know from us being in Team Cup together last month, when the gals would ask, okay, what are the color containers for beach bars? What's the discount for, a coach and blah, blah, blah. It would take me a matter of minutes to send them a screenshot back, because I would just go to my Beachbody photo album on my phone. I would look for the screenshot I had saved and I'd send it to them. Because if somebody else wouldn't have made that screenshot, I wouldn't have had the help for it. So why am I going to hang on to that? Why, I need to share that, so that my hope is other people make that photo album on their phone so that they can find it quick when the next person asks them. I have referred back to some of those things. I can't tell you how many times when customers ask me a question about the color containers for beach bars. I pop that picture to them. I send the visual of what it costs for Shakeology monthly as a customer, and then the one that's the side-by-side with the coach cost, including the $15.95 that's been, that you're paying, blah, blah, blah. And I will even ask them when I'm talking to them, I'll explain to them, you know what, I'm really a visual person. I've got a screenshot that will show you the side-by-side dollar amount and what you would save by the end of the year. Would you like for me to send that to you so you can actually see what I'm talking about? And several of them have said yes. And after they see it, I don't want to say they believe me more, but they've got the visual in front of them showing them. I talk about our monthly fee as like a membership fee. This is your membership fee that allows you to get the discount every month on all of your products. Because some people think, well, if I'm paying this, but I'm getting a 25% discount and I've got shipping and handling, it's still going to be so close. No, you're saving over $30.50 some odd cents every month. So now multiply that by 12. That's what you would save in a year. Why would you, what could you do with that amount of money? And so I'm a very visual, so I share that with people. Where do I want to go in? I don't know. What I know is I want to keep helping people. I want to be able to be sitting here in 2 to 5 years talking with some of my best friends saying, you know what? I'm in the best shape I've been in my entire life, and be 60 or 62 and be able to still feel really proud of myself and be happy in my skin, as selfish as that may sound. I want to just keep feeling good and sharing that with others. So if they can feel even a fraction of what I'm feeling, I will have done my job.
And I think I love that because when I sent that question and her response back to me was like, whoa, I hadn't thought about that. And I think that's very common. I think when we haven't hit, when we haven't unlocked some potentials in this business, I think sometimes it can feel hard to like know where the next place to go is, right? Like we know when we sign up, like, oh, I should hit SC5 and I should become Emerald because that's what your mentor is telling you to do. But like once we get to a place where we start to lead our own business and kind of become that leader ourselves and have ownership of that, there becomes this responsibility of like, where am I going to go next, right? Like there's a responsibility I feel to you guys of where I should go next. There's a responsibility I feel to my family, you know, just like in your regular workplace, like where do you want to go with this, right? We often, I don't think we ask ourselves that question enough. And the reality is the power is in the longevity. The power is in the longevity. It's not just in what you're going to do in March and really 2019, but where are you going to be? And I love that she's going for 1 star, you guys, because what that also means is she will be invited to the New Leader Conference in LA next year. If that happens, when that happens, she'll get that invite. And that is going to open up so many doors of opportunity and of like, why the heck not me's? Right after she gets done with New Leader Conference next year, there will be a very first Success Club trip that she'll be able to take her and her husband on, which is going to open up another level of why not me's, right? And the more we start to experience these things, you're going to go to your very first summit this year, Leah, and that's going to open up more like, well, why the heck not me? You know, and I think that there's just something to be said about getting yourself sometimes to these milestones because like, okay, why go for 1 star? Well, the cool thing about 1 star, she's going to unlock this opportunity that could freaking change the trajectory of her business. And I think that that's right now in front of you, the goal for the masses is if you go diamond, to be able to come to this leadership retreat in October, like, man, what that could do to open up your eyes in belief and community and just going for goals and freaking crushing them and then getting rewarded in this way. I just think it's so cool. Okay, last question. Our team, when it got revamped, and Leah, I believe you were around for all that. You were here when our team's name was not Inspire Beauty. Pop quiz, Leah, what was it?
That was the beginning. I don't remember. Dude, I can't remember last week.
You don't care about my team name.
I don't even have a freaking team name. How am I supposed to remember your first one?
It was pretty terrible. It's called Team Our Victory. You guys, does that roll off your tongue or what? That was good. No.
I like Inspire Beauty.
It was so terrible. We revamped Inspire Beauty. And when that happened, the mission became really clear, in alignment, I believe, with Beachbody's mission to help others become happier and healthier, right? More sustainable versions of themselves. But I think what I wanted to do when I revamped Inspire Beauty was I wanted to make it accessible to the masses, meaning, yeah, Leia's got a team of people who love this freaking discount, love her coaching, love her product and her groups, but how do we get them to pay this forward? And the heartbeat behind Inspire Beauty was exactly that, to inspire others to be their best selves. And if that just means that like my child is better because they watched me work out today, then I'm inspiring others to be their best selves. If that's because my, coworker noticed that my pants are fitting different and they commented on how, great I look, I'm inspiring others to be their best selves. And so that's really our team's mission. And so I asked, how has that mission of inspiring others to be their best selves come alive in your life, maybe in Beachbody, maybe beyond Beachbody?
I think it helped me come alive in a way I didn't realize I wasn't. I thought I was, but taking care of myself and spending the time on myself unselfishly, and the way I'm learning to talk to myself, to smash the mean girl voices when they start, instead of letting them go to town for weeks and months on me, and the way I speak to others and see certain situations. It's my mindset. It's loving on me, heart, mind, and soul. And I really believe my mindset has been a huge piece that has grown in this. Y'all know that inspiring others and trying to find a positive in every situation is something that's just me. Those are two traits that I hold very high. And when others come up to you and tell you that they're at the lowest weight they've been in 4 years or 5 years, or I don't remember the last time I felt this good. I'm running around with my son who's 3 and I didn't get winded today. My husband complimented me when he, I mean, so many different comments have come to me from others. When your own children who are almost 25 and 31 send you messages after they've watched your story or something, and they tell you how badass you look and how proud of you, they are. And, Mom, I was looking at my phone and my coworker was standing right there and I flipped it around and said, hey, look, this is my mom. And it just feels good. Motivating people, helping people, inspiring people, and you just can't help but feel amazing. It makes my heart smile. It makes me happy. Just makes me want to do it that much more.
I love it. And you guys, I know that she shared with us a lot of her strategy tonight with getting, reaching out to customers, reaching out to family members, that her first initial 12 were really self-built. But I kind of, we can open this up for some questions if you guys do have some for Leah. She's willing to answer, of course. But the last thing from me tonight is, you guys, this is a numbers game. Network marketing, what you do as somebody in sales, it's numbers. Like if I were to go sell used cars on a lot, it's how many people came in, how many people could I talk to today, and how many people walked out with a new car, right? It's a numbers game. And so imagine if you were in a gymnasium and you're sitting in the bleachers of this gymnasium, and on the floor, on the basketball court, there are 10,000 cups. 10,000 cups. And I told you that under those 10,000 cups, there were 5 diamonds. Under those 10,000 cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those 10,000 cups have a diamond underneath them. And would you flip over the first 5 and not find the diamond and stop? You probably wouldn't, because you know for a fact that those diamonds are out there under your 10,000 cups. And if you flipped over 9,994 cups and you still haven't found one single diamond yet, you'd probably flip over the last 5 cups because you know without a doubt that they're under there, right? And so whether or not your business building coaches come in your first 5 people you invite, or whether or not your business building coaches come in the last 5 you send out a year from now, right? Like 2 years, 3 years, it doesn't matter, because the reality is they're out there. You guys are all here. You guys were not people at the beginning of my story. You guys all came into my life and into my journey in different ways and were pulled to me in different ways. And that's what's so cool about this whole thing, is that the more you just keep putting your energy out there and inspiring others with your passion and belief behind what you're doing, and you keep really focusing. I love that Leah just focuses on helping others, like such a heartbeat for helping and serving others. And all that's happening is it's getting paid back to her tenfold. And so keep flipping over those cups, you guys. Keep sending the invite. Keep going for the ask, because you're going to find those people. And even Leah, in her process of building Eric's account to Diamond and duplicating that again, there's going to be somebody within, the 30 people now that would be a part of her downline. There's going to be one that's going to say, I'll go Emerald. Sure. That sounds fun. Like that's going to happen, but she's got to keep adding to it and inviting in order to find those people. And so I wanted to share that little analogy with you guys to offer a little bit of hope for you that, yeah, like you might have flipped over some cups or sent some invites and it didn't go the way you wanted it to, but it's out there. They're out there. So it is 6:00 right now. If you need, or 9:00 for some of y'all, if you need to get off, I'm not offended. I'm sure Leah's not either, but if you guys want to ask some questions, you can feel free to unmute.
How would you approach the conversation with someone who is kind of just a discount coach now to broach the topic of becoming more of a business builder?
I would like to know who they are because I don't have any of those yet. I think I would just explain my part of the journey and what I did. I mean, because you and I are in conversations daily, all day. Keep it real and raw. Ask them what their hesitations are, and then give them an example, a personal example, either from you or from me, or from Erin, or from Britt, or from Krista. I mean, somebody on the team has had to have experienced that exact thing that they're hesitant about, and give them a real life story so that they don't think we're just doing it for a sale. You aren't asking them to do this because you need something. You're asking them to do this because you know how good it feels to have helped them. You want them to be able to help others. So I'd find out what their hesitations are and give a real life reason or example.
One of the things, Lindsay, that I've done to transition discount coaches into business building coaches is I give them behaviors. In your challenge group, challenging them to post on social media their transformation, or asking them if you can share their transformation on social media, and so they can see like the world doesn't end when that happens. Inviting them to book club once they're a discount coach, inviting them to read Girl, Stop Apologizing with You this month. With Leah, I went and I met her where she was at. Like, I met her at the beach one day at her beach house. She was a discount coach, but I just wanted community with her. I wanted friendship with her, and I didn't want anything else in return. And we met, and that fostered open discussion that day about like what I do as a coach, and we were able to like go from there. And then slowly but surely, like, she was such a, you get these coaches sometimes that they're repeat offenders in your groups month after month after month, and they're a coach already, but they're also a repeat offender. And so finally some of these people, like Leah, Natalie was one of them, that I finally was like, dude, you need to like start posting. Like, here, I'm going to give you a week. I want you to post for a week, or maybe you could do Motivation Monday. Would you do that for me? And start giving them the behaviors so they can see that they can do it. And that just is, to me, becomes a confidence boost. Like Leah got so many little snippets of those behaviors that by the time July Team Challenge came around, she was like, well, I guess I'll try it, just always being on the lookout. And remember, you guys, like, not everybody needs to do it. And I love that Leah said, you don't need anybody. Like, you don't need any of them to work this business. It'd be awesome, but you don't need them to. You'll find somebody else that really wants to make it happen.
Kind of along those same lines, if you guys don't mind, another question from me. I have people in my challenge groups who have been with me month after month after month, and for one reason or another, they just keep saying no when I present coaching to them. Have you had that happen where someone says no month after month after month, but they're still in your group, they're still drinking the shakes, they're doing everything? Like, what would be your recommendation for converting that customer to a coach? Who wants to go?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Maybe you, Erin, and I need to have that conversation.
I'm baffled right now, Lindsay, because Erin told me no for years, and she's kicking herself now. It's so funny. And so just continue to ask them. And I love Leah's thing of like, she's not afraid to share, like, this is how much you would have saved by now, by the way. Like, wow. I've done that to Erin before. Like, this is how much money you waste. It's so mean. Like, you shouldn't do that. I mean,
you're not doing it in a mean way.
But like, yeah, it's timing. And there were times where Erin was ready, and then she like took it back right away. Like, there was actually, like, she almost signed up for coaching even before she actually did. And so never giving up on people, I guess, is also important. And the longer they see you doing this, the more they're going to see your heart, and that your motive isn't to just get them or whatever,
I think that's what I'm holding on to also, is all of the no's I've had. I'm not going anywhere. And I selfishly like how I feel, so I'm not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And in 6 months, 3 months, a year, I'm still going to be here when they're still complaining about how they feel. And I'm talking about people who aren't customers yet, who just, no, one of my coaches, I just signed under Eric, told me no 6 months ago because her and her daughter, and this is a relative through Katie's ex-husband, so told me no, you look great, but we're doing X, Y, and Z. I'm really happy with this. And 2 weeks ago, she messaged me back from one of my stories and said, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to be 50 in September and I need to look like you. I need to feel like you. I'm happy, but I'm not happy. Let's do this. And we started talking and she goes, well, isn't there a way that I could kind of get a discount? And I said, well, I wasn't even going to talk to her about it for some stupid reason. And I said, well, I could sign you up as a coach. You'd get 25. She said, well, yeah, let's do it. Send me the card. And before I could get back from the kitchen in the station to the office I was working in, she had already logged in and had signed up as a coach. So it had to be her time. Man, I wish I could cookie cut those. Those are great ones, but
a conversation that I've been having with Kristen lately, and it's in our diamond intern right now, is taking the what you don't want. Like, we all know what we don't want. We don't want to be ghosted. Lord, don't we want to be ghosted? We don't want just discount coaches, right? We don't want to feel like we're pulling people into this. We don't want to feel like we're icky. We don't want to feel judged. We don't, there's just so many things we don't want. And I think it's really easy to make an exhaustive list of those things. And I think it's a great exercise for me at times in my business to make that exhaustive list of the things I don't want, and then to flip my energy so that I can focus on what I do want. So rather than focusing on all the ghosting, like if I feel like I'm getting told no a lot or I'm not hearing back, like I'm not going to say something wrong. Like, I have 50 challengers tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to make up lies as affirmations, but just flip my energy. Like, I love when people, feel like they can open up and talk to me freely. That's a different energy than everybody's ghosting me, and so same thing surrounding when there were times of drought in our team where I felt like I just couldn't find new energy, new women to join. I prayed for them, and you can pray, you can put it out in the universe, you can journal about it in gratitude, however you personally like to do it, but ask for those people. Like, I look at all your faces and like, Leia, I know because of her daughter. Like, how does that happen? Like, and I met her daughter because I worked at Orange Theory, and that's how I met Kristen. But I actually didn't start working with Kristen when she lived in California. It wasn't until she moved away and got far from me that she finally came back to me. And like Heather, like Instagram brought Heather into my life, and you found my blog, Lindsay, and like Amanda, you wanted to do 80-Day Obsession and found my prepare groups, remember? And like all of you guys were brought to me in ways beyond my control. Beyond, like, you were just my high school friend and it was cool. Like, that's Erin. Like, that's awesome. Like, I have one of those. But like, you're also going to meet people, you guys, over the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years that you're like, how the freak did this person come into my life? And you just can't explain it. And so praying for that, or just putting that energy out there that like you want that type of person, I think is huge. If you feel frustrated, like you can't find those women or whoever it is you're wanting to work with, like label them, manifest them. I know that sounds really hokey, but I also look at all of you guys and I'm like, I don't know how you all got here. Otherwise, like, I can't explain it, Any other questions while you got her in the hot seat?
I have another kind of technicality question. Leah, you mentioned if someone leaves as a coach, they can't sign back up to coach for 6 months through someone else, but is it true that they can't sign back up under you for 6 months? Mm-hmm. I thought you could come back at any time as a coach.
You have to wait. Beachbody says that when you quit as a coach, you have to, there's like, it's not a grace period. It's it's whatever. 6 months is the time period.
The same person.
Well, and actually how I ended up joining Brittany, because I was underneath a different coach at that time, I canceled my account with her and was chatting with Brittany, and I could sign back up, but I had to do it with a different email address.
I just don't blast that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm typically hesitant to share that because I know it's legit, But yes, I know several people who have done that as well. And I have done it with one person on my team who flat out said, I will call Beachbody and tell them that if there's an issue with me being under you, I'm going to quit buying Shakeology because I will not be under the coach that I was under before. And I said, well, we can't do that. And she goes, okay, but can we do something? And I remember calling Britt that day, and Britt said, well, another email maybe? And I looked at Darlene and she said, I'm doing it right now. I'm canceling that. She said, I need to be under you. And her and I met at a fundraiser in a little boutique that another friend had invited me to. And I walked into this boutique at Thanksgiving, and her vibe and energy was so positive and so amazing. I felt like I was walking into her home and being welcomed into this hug. And we met 2 weeks later, and that's when she told me, yeah, I've been a coach for a couple years to get the discount, but I don't know who my coach is. She's never reached out to me. I feel absolutely nothing. And she said, and the moment you walked in, I felt you and your vibe, and I want to keep going, but under you. Mm-hmm. And so we made it work. So yeah, there's ways to do it. Beachbody just doesn't like that.
It's not in compliance,
right,
technically with Beachbody, but when you're going for Diamond and you're there, it's going to go under the radar. At this point in my business, I can't, like, if I'm gunning for like a qualification goal where there's quarterly bonus payouts, they're going to be looking at all of that. So I'm at a place now where it's a little different. But customers, though, Lindsay, can come back to you as a customer. So if they quit as a coach, they can, in a month later, they're like, okay, I need my shakes again. You're like, cool, you can renew your shakes under me, but you can't be a coach for 6 months.
Because you guys know I've like signed coaches and then lost them very recently. And I'm writing down all the names of people who could be coaches. And I'm like, if those people came back, like I would be so close. And I feel like a couple of them are on the fence about coming back, but I didn't know for sure if they had to wait that 6 months too. So thank you. Kind of, sort of. Thank you.
The really fun and awesome little stat with that too is if they do that and come back with a different email, so they quit and go out, you're going to get SC points if you sign them with a challenge pack or something and you bring them on. And you'd get the $50 fast start for signing them as a coach with a challenge pack right off the bat. So selfishly, I'm doing the numbers thing on that end for you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thanks. Can you hear my children screaming downstairs? Okay.
No.
I'm going to go on mute just in case.
Any last questions? Anything. All right. Well, we went way over tonight, but I think that was so worth it and just such golden nuggets of information. Leah, thank you so much for sharing your heart with us tonight, just for leading from the front. And again, you guys, it just comes back to like, you never freaking know. You got those 10,000 cups and you could have even already flipped one over and the diamond wasn't there, but miraculously, all of a sudden the diamond is there. 2 days later, you know. Everybody has their own story and their own journey and their own time frame, and we can't rush that for anyone else. It's never about us, right? It's about what we can do for others, but you just have to keep sending that out into the universe to be able to get those people to even decide one day to go for it. So thank you again, Leah. Thank you, ladies, for being on. I think I recorded this. I'm pretty sure. So I'll get the recording up soon so you can share it with your peeps, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, wait. I gotta take a picture. I almost forgot. Okay. Ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Yay! All right, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, ladies.
Thank you, Leah.